Welcome to another Chainlink update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And I mean, Chainlink is still going down, I guess, right now, but I'm not expecting it to go down for much longer because I'm still expecting a fifth wave at some point. Now, if you did not watch my previous videos, I mean, this will be the fifth wave of this 1, 2, 3, 4 setup. As you can see, in the fourth wave, we actually reacted to the bull market support band. We did not get to the 50% extension, which is very good. And yeah, I'm still expecting another high very soon, which could put us somewhere between $35 and even $42 in a more bullish scenario. And I mean, we have a 1-2 setup on the chart by the looks of it. Maybe it's a 1-2-3 setup. I'm not sure. I mean, this is a big mess right now, but it doesn't really matter in the short term. I'm still expecting Chainlink to be at $35 to $42 very, very soon because I mean, we need a fifth wave. Now, what are these 5 waves for? Well, these 5 waves will confirm that the second wave move to the downside right here is actually in, and that we are heading in a third wave of a very large 1-2 setup that we pretty much started after we got the bear market low back in June of 2023. Now, the minimum target for that third wave is the 200% extension of the 1-2 setup that we have on the chart, and that is at about $105, and from where we're at right now we're at about, let's say, $23, and from where we're at right now, we would need to go up another 350%, so it's not really a lot, and it's definitely doable considering the fact that from this second wave move down, we actually went up like 300% already. So if Bitcoin dominance starts going down soon, and speaking of Bitcoin dominance, let me talk about that. So if this starts going down soon, I think it is possible for Chainlink to be at about $100 by the end of next month. Now I know that sounds crazy, but you have to keep in mind, whenever the altcoin season starts and whenever Bitcoin dominance starts going like crazy to the downside, that's when the altcoins start doing something like this. So it's definitely possible to see it, and if you look at what Chainlink did in the previous cycle, I mean here for example, it actually went up quite a lot in February. Now of course it did not go up as much as some other altcoins, but I mean it still went up quite a lot. It went from like $22 all the way up to like what, about $34, and that's actually quite a lot. And during this time, Bitcoin dominance was actually going sideways. Now, imagine what happens when Bitcoin dominance starts going down, like I've been telling you it will for the past, I don't know, even 6 months already. And imagine what happens when Bitcoin dominance drops from like 59%, where it's at right now, all the way down to like 40% to test the trend line of the previous lows right here. I think it's gonna happen, and I think that's gonna happen very, very soon. Now, how soon am I talking? Well, I think it's gonna happen in the next year. And yes, I believe Bitcoin dominance will be at 40% by the end of next year. Now, I don't know if we will bottom next year or if we will just bottom this year like we did in 2017, for example. In 2017, we actually bottomed at the beginning of the bear market year, which was 2018. So I don't know if we will bottom at the beginning of next year or at the end of next year, like we did, for example, right here in the previous cycle. But I do know that Bitcoin dominance is expected to go down because that always happens in every single cycle, and I think it's only a matter of time until it does happen. And I mean, if you can remember what happened in the previous cycle when Bitcoin dominance was going down, Chainlink was actually going up like crazy. Now, of course, it was not going up in November, but it still had a B wave right here. And actually, let me talk about the long-term chart for a second. I'm sorry if this is confusing you, but I need to talk about the long-term chart. So in the previous cycle, we went up in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup that formed a first wave move. The bear market was an ABC structure, and that's why Chainlink did not get another cycle high in November like some other altcoins did. For example, Cardano did get another cycle high in November, but Chainlink did not. And why was that? Well, because Chainlink already had 5 waves up. So, for those right now that are complaining about the fact that Chainlink is not going up as much as the other altcoins, well, they have to keep in mind that during the bull market, there are some altcoins that just go up earlier. For example, Solana, I don't think Solana will get to like $10,000 by the end of the cycle. Obviously not. I think Solana is already in a fifth wave move to the upside right now, and I think it will top somewhere between $500 and $600, And I think this coin will actually top way earlier than the other coins because it already went up quite a lot. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, because you need to know why Chainlink topped earlier in the previous cycle. You need to know that the Elliott Wave count actually matters, and yes, the chart actually reacts to it, no matter if you want to believe that or not. I mean, it did it over here because we had 5 waves. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we have a big 1-2 setup on the chart. It's this 1-2 setup, and in this cycle, well, not in this cycle, but in the next couple of years, we will work on the third wave of this 1-2 setup. Now, don't expect this third wave to get done anytime soon. It will take a couple of cycles to finish this. In this cycle, we will only focus on the first wave of the third wave up here, and the first wave, well, it needs to go up in 5 waves. Right now, like I said, after we got the bear market low in June of 2023, we formed the 1-2 setup on the chart, and this is the first 1-2 setup of the first wave of the main third wave up here. And yeah, I'm expecting a third wave very, very soon. Now, like I said, the third wave needs to get to about $105, and from where we're at right now, that's not really a lot. Also, keep in mind, Chainlink does not have a huge market cap, at least compared to some other altcoins, so it's definitely possible to be at about $100. Now, is it going to happen by the end of next month, like I said a couple of minutes ago? Well, I think it's very unlikely, but I could see Chainlink at all-time highs extremely soon. And you know, if it did happen by the end of, let's say, March or April, I would not be surprised. However, if we want Chainlink to finish 5 waves in the cycle, and if we want Chainlink to get to the third wave move right here, well, if we want the third wave to get to the 200% extension, we should get to the 200% extension by May of 2025. If we do not get to that extension by May of 2025, then I don't think Chainlink will do as good in this cycle as it did in the previous cycle, and I think it's actually going to be pretty difficult for Chainlink to form 5 waves if the third wave does not, finish by the end of May. So Chainlink should be at about $105 by the end of May if we wanted to get to about $160 by the end of this year. Now, I know from where we're at right now, that's not even a 7x, I think that's a 6x from where we're at right now. So it's definitely, you are definitely not early anymore because, if you bought down here, for example, at about $9, you are definitely doing better than if you bought here at $30. However, you are still, well, like I said, you are not early, but you could say that you are still doing pretty good. And if you bought this dip right here, I think you will be in profit very, very soon. So yeah, we are still not in an altcoin season. The altcoin season has not started, but Chainlink is still respecting support levels, and like I told you, it actually reacted to the bull market support band, and this is very bullish because usually after a coin reacts to the bull market support band, that's when we see a huge bounce. So I think it will happen very, very soon. And if it does not happen, if we somehow get another low in the fourth wave right here, it's not going to be the end of the world. Another low could put us at the 50% extension, but like I told you, we don't really want to see that because that would put us below the bull market support band. We already tested it one time, so yeah, we should not really test it again unless, Bitcoin goes down for some reason, but I don't think Bitcoin will go down in February because it does not usually go down in February, so we'll see what happens with that. Now, I actually want to talk about Ethereum for a second because this is also extremely important. And why is it important? Well, because if Ethereum does not go up, then Bitcoin dominance will not go down. And if Bitcoin dominance does not go down, the altcoin market will not go up. So what we need to do right now on the Ethereum chart is, well, we need to get another fifth wave of this 1, 2, 3, 4 setup that we have on the chart. As you can see, Ethereum is, well, it was below the bull market support band. The bull market support band was tested multiple times. And actually, I needed to know that in this cycle, Ethereum is currently underperforming, at least compared to what happened in the previous 2 cycles. However, it's only underperforming in this month, which is January. And why am I saying that? Well, because in the previous 2 cycles, for example, in the previous cycle in 2021, Ethereum actually went up quite a lot in January. It went up like 30%, and in the cycle before that, it went up even more. I believe it was like 70%. So, yeah, in this cycle, we are actually down. We are actually about to close a red wick, and this is not really usual. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens with Ethereum in February, because in the previous 2 cycles, Ethereum always went went up in the first couple of months of the post-halving year. So if it does not do that in this cycle, it's definitely going to be, worrying. And I'm not saying that we will get a left translated peak, but the chances of us doing that are going to increase if Ethereum does not go up in February. And, if we go up in February, we should be at all-time highs by the end of February. And yeah, I mean, that's all I have about Ethereum. Now back to Chainlink. I mean, Chainlink is still just going down, but it's normal because, like I told you, Bitcoin dominance is still near cycle highs. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. I'm sorry if this was a bit confusing. I don't really know what to say anymore because there's nothing happening. But once I have something to say, I will most likely start doing, semi-daily Chainlink updates again. But yeah, until then, I don't have much. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.